there's some cows in there. Actually, there's that bull there. He's called Mr. Bridegroom, the Black Angus. And I noticed how happy the cows were and how calm they were. And it's got me thinking. So then I started researching trees in farming and in cows nature around trees and how trees can help. And so that went for about 2 years. Got really excited about it. Then I heard about this trial, and I jumped at the chance. So we've chosen trees which are beneficial both for the minerals, for their diet, for medicinal purposes. So, for example, we've got some firs in here. Firs are a insecticide. You've got willow, and that's a painkiller. And then you have oaks and things which are astringents, which help blood circulation. So it's a really good all-round thing.
So lots of benefits, really.
Yeah, absolutely massive. And I mean, at the moment, we're experiencing really extreme heat. Cows do not do well with heat. So if their core temperature goes above a certain amount, they divert all the blood supply away from their rumen, so they can't eat as well. It takes their blood away from the. Sorry, I've got a stutter, so it's not buffering or anything. It's just me. So it takes the blood away from their fertility parts, and that's also they can try and regulate their body heat a lot better. So it just makes them a lot less effective. They're very miserable, and so we're trying to incorporate shade by these plantings into this field. So it's just there's so many aspects to it. It is the alleys, or I think spaced, but I call it the avenues, and we've renamed this field Pall Mall Field because there's lots of avenues of trees. So we've split up a 15-acre field into 9 20-metre widths. So as you can see, the cows in this one, they're there in one strip, and then we can move them onto this strip. And the intention is in 10 years, 20 years time, the trees will provide shade for about a third of the avenue. So there'll be lots of shade and lots of leaves to chew on and eat.
Yeah, because others, they're very exposed, aren't they? So it's great to be able to have the shelter from the trees.
It's only really since we planted this field up they realised how exposed this field was. I mean, if you scan along sometimes you can see some knocked over tree guards, and I probably spend about a week a month rebanging tubes and posts because they just keep being blown over. So it just shows you how exposed and the cows really do need that shelter introduced.
We're going to go in the Land Rover here, and this is Rusty, Henry's dog.
Well, no, not mine.
Not your dog, sorry.
My wife. So I went.
Bryony's dog. Rusty will be joining us as well. So we're just going to pop into the Land Rover. Next field.
You come in. Yeah. Do you want to drive down through some of them?
Yeah, that sounds great.
So this bit we're going through at the moment, this hasn't been grazed this year. I was going to grow some hay on it, but then I decided the cows needed it more to eat. So they'll be moved in here this afternoon, and they'll probably spend about 2 days in here.
Okay.
Because we've only got 15 cows, so in that mob, so they won't be too so they won't get it too quickly. As you can see in the other field, we're sort of trying to leave as much biomass in the field as possible, so we're sort of trampling a lot of the grass in. It may seem quite wasteful, but it's doing the organic matter wonders. can see we've got lots of burset trefoil on it. So the white flowers, they're burset trefoil. So it's not really white, it's why I'm going mad. So can you help me out?
The yellow?
Yeah, yellow flowers, exactly. That's burset trefoil, so that's nitrogen fixing.
Yeah.
So that reduces your need on artificial fertilisers. It's also tannin rich, so studies have shown it can reduce methane production by 70%, having a high tannin rich diet in ruminants.
Great.
I'll take you up this avenue because it's the most sheltered part of the field and is where the trees are growing best. So you can see, so we planted these trees in March last year.
Yeah.
So these are 6-foot tubes, so you can see that they're growing quite well in this sheltered part.
They're growing great. You can see, hopefully you can see some of the trees growing there.
So green tubes, in the green tubes you've got standard trees, so you've got oaks, we've got firs, we've got all sorts, which we don't want them to be grazed yet. And then in between the green tubes we've got shrub trees, so hollies, we've got elm, that the cattle can start to eat almost straight away so they won't get damaged.
Yeah.
And then around the standard trees we have, this one's a cracker. Around the standard trees we've got hawthorn, so when the one side of the wire is taken down it just protects the standard trees a bit more against rubbing and stuff. But we want the cattle to rub to a certain extent because that removes dead skin, it helps them regulate their temperatures, it helps remove external parasites. Yeah. So it's a very important part of the silvopasture aspects, is that very sorry about the bumpiness. I should roll this field a bit more. And that's another thing which is great for with the silvopasture. I'll take you into the next field where we got where you can see that with the shades of the trees, the grass is actually growing really well. So it's a lot thicker where the cows are. Agroforestry isn't just taking up loads of field space. That you can still have a productive farm, and hopefully more farmers will take this up and see the benefits.